Hello everybody, welcome back to the Premier League predictions for game week 37, and we're going to be starting off at Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Manchester City, and we're coming into this game, surely there's only one winner. Fulham, a 0-0 draw against Brentford, could have gone either way in that game, deserved to be a draw. Manchester City, on the other hand, battered Wolverhampton Wanderers. Although the first penalty that Erling Haaland scored after he managed to score 4 goals, Erling Haaland's back. Yeah, in my opinion, it probably wasn't a penalty. It probably wasn't a foul. They should have just got on with it and got a goal kick. They both collided into each other. But it turns out it was a penalty according to the referees. But honestly, what do I know? Maybe the referees were right. But in my opinion, it wasn't really a penalty. But Man City still deserved to win that. Erling Haaland, 4 goals. Erling Haaland's back, Phil Foden's assisting him, everyone's looking fantastic for Man City. Nothing but a Manchester City win. Sorry Fulham, but you're not going to do it today. It is going to be 4-1 to Manchester City come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at Goodison Park. It's Everton versus Sheffield United. Only one winner here, surely. Everton has to be winning this, especially at home. That defence is amazing, honestly, amazing. That defence, the goalkeeper, superb. I'm going for a comfortable Everton win. Sorry, Sheffield United. Your season's done and dusted. So is Everton's, but Everton's just better than Sheffield United. So I'm going for a comfortable 2-0 win towards Everton come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it is at the London Stadium. It's West Ham United versus Luton Town. West Ham United, David Moyes, it looks like he's most probably going to go at the end of the season. Although West Ham have not had a bad season, obviously there are confirmed no European football after Newcastle won at 4-1 against Burnley, and also Chelsea won 5-0 against West Ham, which really put it to bed. Not good by West Ham. One positive you can take from that game is that there was a hat-trick for West Ham, a hat-trick of crossbars for Jared Bowen, a quality player. They've got some quality players in that side, and they're still probably going to get top 10. And that's still a good position. Yes, out of European football. But considering last season they finished like 14th, was it? Yeah, I mean, obviously they did win a Conference League last year. Still, it's an alright season for West Ham. I thought it was a good season personally. But maybe it is time to change up the manager. If you kept David Moyes, maybe it'd be another 10th place finish again. You don't know. Especially without European football, maybe West Ham can do a bit better next season. But coming into this game, honestly, West Ham, they're not going to get European football like I just said. Luton Town, they're fighting. They are fighting. They fought throughout the entire Everton game. I got the prediction bang on. And overall, Luton Town, the fact that they managed to get a point against a superb informed Everton side, yeah, they're going to be able to get 3 points here away from home. Doesn't matter that they're away from home. I'm going for a Luton Town win. Sorry, West Ham, but he didn't look fantastic in the 5-0 loss. I'm going 2-1 to the away side, Luton Town, come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at the Vitality Stadium. It's AFC Bournemouth versus Brentford. And well, AFC Bournemouth defended fantastic against Arsenal. But if you look at it, they didn't make many opportunities. The first half, they honestly made block after block. And Mark Travers, in my opinion, he's a great goalkeeper. He made plenty of saves in that game, despite conceding 3 goals. The defensive display was very good. They definitely went out to try and get like a 0-0 result or something, or maybe catch it on the counter and get a 1-0. But it didn't work out in the end. Arsenal did dominate that game, but Bournemouth, they're quality, aren't they? Brentford, Ivan Toney hadn't scored in the last 10 games, 10 consecutive games without a goal since he last scored after his return. Yeah, he did come back scoring goals, but then it's kind of fizzled out. I still think he's a quality player, but Brentford season, it's over. I think Bournemouth is the better side coming into this one. They're currently above them in the table. They've been playing better football, in my opinion, throughout the entire season. Plus, they are home, so I'm going to edge Bournemouth only just about 1-0 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at the Molineux Stadium. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Crystal Palace. Well, Crystal Palace, I said they would win against Manchester United. They did, but I predicted a 2-1, not a 4-0 thrashing. I mean, I knew they would play better than Man United in that game, like a lot of teams do this season. But a 4-0, they destroyed Manchester United. Elise, superb. The first goal, fantastic. He managed to dribble past both the Manchester United players, finish at home, it was beautiful. And then another cracking goal. Then Mateta's goal, another cracking goal. Jeffrey Schlupp's goal was it last game? I think it was. A great goal there as well. Crystal Palace are scoring absolute banger goals. In my opinion, Crystal Palace are the better side, especially Wolves going on a bit of a meth form. They did lose at 5-1. Like I said, they were a bit unlucky for the first penalty, but overall did deserve to lose that 5-1 against Man City. It is Man City, so you can put that aside. But Wolves, yeah, I think they've had a decent season overall. Better season than I thought they were going to have. But against Crystal Palace, they're looking too good. Especially that there's no huge injuries to Elise, Mateta or Eze. I don't believe at the moment. So I'm going to go only just about to Crystal Palace. I still rate Wolves. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Crystal Palace come the final whistle. Moving on to the next games at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Burnley. And well, Burnley did lose at 4-1. It is still possible that they'll survive. But if Nottingham Forest gets the appeal, gets their extra 2 points, then Burnley it's completely over. And Burnley, they have to win the next 2 games if they've got any chance. And they have to assume that Nottingham Forest loses to Chelsea. What am I going to say in this game? Well, Tottenham Hotspur, each time they play out from the back, Ange Postecoglou, that is good. They play out from the back, it can be very good. But they do it consistently every time and they make the mistakes. Constantly, they're passing. I mean, they're always under the pressure. And going against a Burnley side, which sat out against Newcastle, to straight away go for it. They're not playing 5 at the back, defending for their lives to at least get a point against Newcastle. No, straight away, the first 5-10 minutes, they looked fantastic against Newcastle United. They were high pressing, they were pushing up, really pushing to get it. And that's how Vincent plays. That's how he set out. And that's how he's probably going to set out into this game, which could be a positive and a negative. Because the same thing could happen. Spurs could batter them 4-1. Or Burnley could get some goals, especially if they can press that Tottenham side, which always like to play out from the back. And I feel like they will. They'll capitalise on their mistakes. They'll get some goals. Burnley will score 3 goals. And I feel like Tottenham are also going to score some goals because their attack is fantastic. And they can also capitalise on Burnley defence being a bit meh, especially open the way Burnley attack. They're going to leave the defence quite open. It's going to be a very open game. It's going to be a 5-goal thriller. I'm going for a shocker. It's going to come to the final day on who's going to stay up. And I'm going to say it's going to be 3-2 to Burnley come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game is at St James's Park. It's Newcastle United versus Brighton and Hove Albion. And you know what? Brighton obviously suffered through injuries throughout the entire time. That was a great win. I mean, I always back up Brighton to get some, either a win or a draw against like a high-class teams, like a top 4 teams. In the last few weeks, I've supported them that they are going to get some points. Like they did last season, they were quite good against the upper teams. And then the one time I don't say they're going to get a point or 3 points against a top 4, top 5 team, they go and win it. The one time I go against them, they go win it. And coming into this game, Newcastle are at home. Newcastle, 5 wins in the last 7. Callum Wilson, Alexander Isak, I could keep on going. What a fantastic striker partnership. Both of them getting goals again. Yes, Isak did miss a penalty. But I mean, overall, he did recover and get a very easy goal because of Burnley poor defending. But coming into this game, I think Newcastle will win it. Brighton have not been sound. Yes, they did and also deserved to win against Aston Villa. But in conclusion, I feel like Newcastle are better, especially at home. Brighton haven't looked fantastic. I'm going to stop waffling and I'm going 3-1 to the Geordie boys. Come on, Newcastle United. Moving on to the next game is the 5:30 PM kickoff. It's at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Chelsea are on fire. They have clicked. Slowly but surely they have clicked. At the start of the season, I said they'll have an improved season and they will finish in 7th place. I also said it was going to be sort of a slow start. So I predicted Chelsea quite well. I didn't predict that they'll get a win against Tottenham Hotspur, but I did predict there was going to be a lot of goals in the West Ham game and they will come away with victory. And it was. It wasn't quite a 4-2, although there was a 4-2 scoreline. There wasn't 2 Chelsea. It was in the Liverpool game. But I did predict it was going to be high scoring. I did predict Chelsea were going to win it. But they won at 5-0. I mean, it's honestly sensational. Madueke is looking fantastic. Working with Cole Palmer, Mudryk, Conor Gallagher. I could keep on going. What a great performance. Back-to-back clean sheets. 7 goals the last 2 games. In my opinion, Nottingham Forest, You've got a game against Burnley, which is a crucial game, but against Chelsea, they're securing Conference League football. And in my opinion, Chelsea, I feel like could even be looking at top 4 next year. I also did say in the last few weeks that they look like they're a top 5 side. And I've always thought Chelsea are better than they actually are. They've got the players, they've got the facilities to be in a title race, in my opinion. I feel like next year that could happen. But I'm going to get to the conclusion here. They're going to get another clean sheet. It's going to be close because it's at the City ground. Wouldn't be too surprised for a draw, but Chelsea, they're looking unstoppable. 1-0 to Chelsea come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's the 12th of May. It's Manchester United at Old Trafford versus Arsenal. And well, someone in the comments said I hated Arsenal. Maybe secretly I do, because I have been going for, results against Arsenal. What happened last time is when I was predicting Arsenal to always blip up and everything. And then I said, oh wait, they're not going to blip up this game. I'm not going to go for another blipping up. And then they go and lose it to Aston Villa. I was predicting like a run of Arsenal dropping a lot of points. Do I go here for them to drop points again? Because I feel like if I don't, the same thing's going to happen like against Aston Villa. And Arsenal are going to go on and lose the game. And well, you would make sense for Arsenal to batter Manchester United. It will make sense for that to happen because Manchester United are terrible. But I believe, on the screen here is proof, that 8 players will be returning to Manchester United. One of them including Luke Shaw, which could be the key of why Manchester United can go and improve. It could be the key for Manchester United. Luke Shaw and many other players could be the key. He's going to be such an essential player. I don't know whether he's going to start, whether they're going to want him to ease in all 8 players that could be returning for this game. But I mean, I was tempted after looking at 8 players going to be returning. Man United at home, Arsenal on a bit of pressure. Do I? No, I'm going to go as Arsenal. Although I was tempted to go 3-2, I am going to go for a thrashing. I'm not going to risk it. Arsenal did win 3-0 against Bournemouth, which are on good form. So Manchester United being on bad form. I'm going to stop waffling. It's going to be an absolute battering towards Arsenal. It's going to be 3-0 come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's the 13th of May. It's at Villa Park. It's Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, they definitely haven't won the title. It still could happen, but in my opinion, it's impossible. Man City looking too good. Arsenal got way too good goal difference for Liverpool to catch up. It still could happen, though. Just Arsenal going to have to lose the next 2 games. And Man City can only get a maximum of a point. But I am going to go... I was going to go down the middle, to be honest. But Liverpool, a lot of the injuries have returned. The attack seemed much better against Spurs. They did concede 2 consolation goals. But so did Arsenal against Spurs. So I think I am going to go Liverpool just about. Especially that Aston Villa were a bit tired in that game. Didn't look quite themselves against Brighton. I feel like Brighton were the better side and they deserved to win that game. But Aston Villa, they are quality. I was tempted to go for a draw, but I feel like Jurgen Klopp is going to be wanting to end off on a great run of form. And I feel like Liverpool are only just about going to get this. I still feel like Aston Villa are going to get Champions League football. But I'm going to go 2-1 to Liverpool come the final whistle. And that's on the 14th of May. It is Tottenham Hotspur versus Manchester City. Now, I was going to go 2-2 in this game. I was going to go 2-2, but then I looked at Tottenham. They've lost the last 4 games. When they're at the, like I was saying earlier on, when they play out from the back, they do make a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes, playing out from the back a lot. And considering they're playing Manchester City, yeah, I'm going to have to go Man City, even though I want to do my shocker results, which I have done in quite recent time. I am going to go Manchester City. Sorry to be a bit boring. I was so close to going 2-2 though. But I don't think Tottenham Hotspur is going to do it. But I am going to go 5-2 to Manchester City come the final whistle. Sorry Spurs, but Man City are too good. Moving on to the next game, it's the 15th of May. It's at the Amex Stadium. It's Brighton and Hove Albion versus Chelsea. Like I said, Chelsea are unstoppable. I think they've clicked. In my opinion, they're going to win the remainder of their games. Chelsea, they look too good. Brighton, yes, did look better, but they seem to just play terrible for the rest of the season. So I'm going to go for another loss for Brighton. Chelsea, they look too good. I'm going for a comfortable 3-1 win to the away side Chelsea come the final whistle. Moving on to the next game, it's at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Newcastle not amazing away from home. They did beat Burnley 4-1 away from home. And am I going to go for another Newcastle United win? You know what, this season I've been quite unbiased. I feel like when I say unbiased, I always go for draws for Newcastle because I don't want to be too biased. I don't want to be too unbiased. And also, I feel like this one could be a draw. I've actually got it written down 1-1. But considering how bad Man United look, even with Luke Shaw probably returning, Martinez returning into that centre-back position, they could be a bit rusty. Oops, sorry, accidentally moved the camera. There we go. They could be a bit rusty, but even if they're not, I don't think it's enough against Newcastle United, which are looking fantastic. I feel like Newcastle are going to get a win here. I know I'm changing it. I was going to go 4-1 Newcastle, and then I was going to go 1-1, but now I'm going to go 3-1 to Newcastle. I'm going for another 3-1. Now, who is my goal of game week 36? Now, probably Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's goal was fantastic. It's on the screen there. It was an absolute blinding goal. Would I say it's as good as Jeffrey Slupp's goal? Probably not. I'm sure there was a lot of others, but I am going to go for Harvey Elliott's. But how did I do in game week 36? Well, I got a total of 7 points out of 22 points. It was an alright week, and I'm currently sitting on overall 211 points out of 714 points. If you did enjoy this video, then why not check out this banger of a video? Trust me, you will enjoy it. Toodle pip!